What's going on, guys? This is your boy JAMEENOD, and I just got through with the Magic vs. Larry Bird, A Courtship of Rivals documentary, and it was amazing. Later, I may do a video describing a lot of the things that I've learned from the both of them and from the documentary itself about the players in the NBA. So I think it's only right that I do this reaction, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird on the Letterman show. I think it's only right after I ended it to do this. And then I'll get straight to the 92 Dream Team and What is a Woman documentary. So guys, let's get to it. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button if you enjoy the commentary. I definitely have enjoyed having you guys here. So let's get it.
Our first guests are NBA legends. Their rivalry forever changed the game of basketball. Their relationship is the focus of a new Broadway play entitled Magic Bird, which opened earlier tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Larry Bird and Earvin Magic Johnson.
There's a reason why I'm smiling, because their personalities are just so polar opposite. You can tell from the documentary. Look at Magic, and then look at Bird. Bird's like, I don't know about these people. And Magic is just enjoying the whole moment. I mean, look at it, man. Oh man, this is so funny.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I saw the documentary the two of you did, and I guess it was produced by HBO. I'm right about that? I found it compelling. I found it moving. I found there's so much humanity in the production, and it stayed with me for quite some time. Now, you guys lived those lives. When you saw the documentary, did you have the same feelings, or was it just, oh yeah, that's us, that's what we did?
Yeah, they did a great job of capturing our feelings and how we feel about one another, but it's really all about the competition. I mean, even today, if we could do something to compete against one another, I'd still like to do that.
Yeah. Magic, you feel the same way?
Oh, I feel exactly the same way. I wish we could compete against each other right now.
Well, you know what you could do is you can go out and buy a baseball team now. There you go.
I thought about buying the Cardinals, but after finding out, I found out Urban paid over $2 billion for the Dodgers. I know the Cardinals are worth at least $500 billion. That's a little bit much.
Yeah, that's crazy stuff. When you guys knew each other earlier, you know, everybody knows about the NCAA Championship game in 1979. Do I have that date right? But you guys actually played as in some sort of, was it an amateur summer tournament or like that? Where was that? When was that?
Well, it was in Kentucky, and that's the first time probably in both our lives that we actually sat on the bench. And I don't think neither one of us liked that at all, but because we were on the bench, David, and we got a chance to play against the starters every day and at nighttime at practice. And Larry and I were so upset we took it out on the starters. Right. So we beat them every single day, right? But Larry was a special cat because it proved to me this man could really play basketball. I had heard about him, but I never saw him play live and in person, and he was incredible. I mean, he dominated, and that's what it's all about. So I went back home telling everybody, oh, this Larry Bird guy is for real.
Right. But you guys were kids then. I mean, you're a little older than Magic, but you were what, 17, 18, 19 in that range right in there when that happened?
I think I was 19.
Yeah.
19 or 20, and you probably 18 or 19.
Yeah. And you were, from the beginning, and correct me if I get any of this wrong, because it's your life, and, well, you guys ought to know. Magic, were you inclined early on to become friends with this guy because you were drawn to him because of his basketball abilities? Did you want to be friends with him from the beginning?
From the beginning, I wanted to be friends, but Larry didn't want none of that. And so, And so I said, okay, if that's how it's going to be, then we have to be like that. So I started disliking him too. But, he told me that, I smiled all the time, and he knew that I would smile at you, but I want to cut your heart out at the same time. So he knew that was part.
Larry wasn't going for none of it. He wasn't going for any of it, man.
Smile at you, but I want to cut your heart out at the same time. So he knew that was part of my strategy, to lure him in as my friend.
So he didn't want to demonstrate any weakness by becoming your friend. Now, did you feel his advances to being a friend, and you just rejected them? You were not interested. You didn't like him. I mean, what was your side of that?
It's not like one of my old girlfriends, when you say advances, I get a little scared.
Hey, in the documentary, they talk about how Larry has a great personality. It is that he just won't show it to you. But I'm guessing over the years, playing for the Boston Celtics, you're going to get used to somewhat of the spotlight.
Say advances, I get a little scared. My thing was when you compete, you're really not friends. You want to keep an edge. And I was like that through high school and through college. But Irvin is an outgoing guy. He loves everybody. He wants to high five. And, he got that big smile. My goal was to try to take 3 of them teeth home with me.
That's 2 different perspectives. That's interesting because Indiana, Michigan, same generation of basketball, similar players, identical players, similar ideology about playing. Anything to do with the Midwest or the times that you guys came from?
I think it's the Midwest, and I think when you think about Indiana high school basketball, I mean, everybody says it's the best. You think about Michigan, we're right there with Indiana, and so how we were taught to play the game, both Larry and I, and then the way we wanted to play the game as individuals. And so we're mirrors of each other. I may smile a little bit more, but the way we played the game of basketball was exactly the same, because we would do anything to win. We didn't care about scoring points. We cared about winning the game and making our teammates better. Yeah. And that's why I think that, thank you. We were able to.
I totally agree with that. If you didn't watch Larry play, watch his highlights, you will be surprised just how good of a passer Larry Bird was. I mean, it was right on par with Magic Johnson passing. I'm so serious about this, guys. If you haven't watched Larry Bird's passing, please go watch that. Because if you say he wasn't, it's just because you're ignorant. Respectfully, because you haven't watched his film. I was one of those guys. I didn't know Larry Bird could pass that good, guys. He's one of the top 1 or 2 best small forward passing between, if you want to say Larry Bird, you want to say LeBron James. With a set defense, this guy is deadly with this passing. I think even more so than Magic. Magic fast break passing was crazy. Even when Larry Bird was throwing these half-court passes, straight out of bound passes, guys. It's like, if you think Kevin Love was good at it, you need to check out Larry Bird.
I think that, thank you. We were able to change not only basketball, but we were able to change the NBA too. And so that was great for both of us.
I want to talk about that in a little bit. But so now you guys meet the first time in this summer league tournament, whatever it was. The next time is for the NCAA Championship. Is that right? What did that? And it was like a 10-point loss. Am I right, Larry?
Well, it was 10 point. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
It felt more like a 20-point loss. But when you're out there playing And you get started in these games, sometimes you go, uh-oh, these guys are pretty good.
Right.
And I had that feeling at halftime that these guys were too much for us.
Now at the beginning of the game, did you meet Irvin there?
Why?
Do you remember trying to talk to Larry before the game?
Nope.
Yeah. You had learned your lesson.
I learned my lesson, and at that time, he was going after something I wanted bad, and I was going after something he wanted bad. So we didn't want to talk. We wanted to get it on and see who was the best.
And in terms of basketball, in terms of your career, in terms of your life and championships, what did losing that championship mean to you, and how did it affect you?
That's the toughest one I've ever taken because you had all your friends. You're at a college. It's really when you step away from home. I felt in Indiana State they accepted me, brought me in. It was tough, and it's still tough, but
still tough today.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
and how about you, Magic? What did
I said that during the documentary. Like, you can see the hurt in his eyes. Even years later, decades later, losing that game. He was hurt. I know Magic was on his mind all day, every day. In the film, it showed. In Magic, the same for Larry Bird, man. They wanted to destroy each other.
it's tough, and it's still tough, but
still tough today.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
and how about you, Magic? What did winning that title mean for you?
Well, you just heard him. It's still tough for him.
That's cool. Then you go to Los Angeles, you go to Boston, relatively in the same time frame, and your careers in the NBA take off, and the rivalry is cemented or begun anew. And then there's somebody says, we're going to sell shoes. We got a Larry Bird shoe and we got a Magic Johnson shoe. Let's get these guys together and we'll shoot a thing. And you did want to do it, didn't want to do it?
well, I wanted to do it because we won the championship that year and we beat Magic. So
yeah,
I was up for
feeling pretty good. All right.
Good.
Yep. And then Magic, how did you?
I did not want to go to Indiana. Mm-hmm. They won the championship. I'm going to his home too, mm-hmm. and I protested. I didn't want to go.
Yeah. But the story is that you were reluctant to do it, and you said, okay, if you can get Magic.
It's called negotiating, Dave.
Yeah. Well, you prevailed because you said, if you can get him here, we'll do it in my backyard on literally your home court, and that's what happened. Now, and he shows up. What was you when you saw him? Were you leery? Were you worried about he's coming into my house, into my yard?
Well, I had my brothers there, and I was going to fight him.
To fight him.
And if I couldn't whip him, surely one of them could.
Yeah.
This is so funny because if you watch the documentary, as a kid, Larry Bird would get in fights when his brothers were around. So they would have to help him win the fight, because if he didn't, and Larry Bird went home beat up, his dad would beat his brothers for not helping him, which is so funny, man. He was like a little troublemaker when he was young, guys. It's an inside joke if you ain't watched the documentary.
And if I couldn't whip him, surely one of them could.
Yeah.
No, I felt, my mom was pretty good about it. She was all excited. My brothers were excited. They loved Magic. Mm-hmm. The town was excited about having him come in our hometown, and come from a small town, it's pretty big news.
French Lick,
and they must be from the town over. But he came in and we shot this commercial, had my mom fix lunch, and it was neat. It was mm-hmm. pretty neat.
But that, according to the documentary, that was the beginning of a friendship. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's accurate. We really didn't say too much once I arrived. We actually had never really interacted with each other. So we got to the basketball court. We shot the first half of the commercial. Then it was lunch break. And so I'm going to my trailer thinking I'm going to eat alone and he's going to go. He said, "No, Irvin, come on up. My mom fixed lunch at the house." So I was like, uh-oh. All right. But I said, okay, cool. So we rolled up, and Larry has this beautiful his house is beautiful, great acres and everything. I mean, green grass, it was unbelievable. So we go up to the house, and his mom just greeted me at the door, David, with a big hug. And that sort of just calmed me down. I said, wow, I'm getting a mom bird hug like my mother would hug me, you know? Yeah. And so then she told me I was like her favorite player, and I said, okay.
Yo, that has to sting so badly. Your mom is calling your rival, your nemesis, this secret type of like hatred you have for this guy, her favorite player. This guy beat you in one of the biggest games of your life in college, and she's calling him her favorite player. Not only that, but she invites him in and cooks for him. That's stupid. The worst, man. That made Larry probably just drove him even harder to beat Magic. But I'm gonna stop right here, guys, and I'm gonna drop part 2, just so that the video's not too long, so we can all stay engaged. Oh, this is amazing. All right, y'all, I'm out. It's JAMEENOD, boy.
It's JAMEENOD, and I'm back up in the building, giving y'all hot topics and reactions, and I'm feeling. Comment your suggestions and I got ya. And be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Oh my, I got another one.